guys, it's Jess from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with 2020 romance releases that I am freaking out about. We have had so many cover reveals lately that have release dates in 2020 by some authors I love, by my favorite publishers, and now all of the ones on here are traditionally published. It's really hard to put indie books on these lists because authors typically wait like a month before release date to announce that they're coming out with a book, and then they'll wait like 2 weeks before to do a cover reveal, and so I really don't want to include any of those because I only have like January releases on that list, so maybe I'll do a separate video for that, but right now these are all traditionally published 2020 releases. I will say I did some research on Goodreads and I really used Lacey from Book Lovers for Life and Chelsea's from Chelsea Darling Reads 2020 release date shelves from Goodreads, and I was just like clicking through and adding what it looked good that I didn't have already. So I'm gonna link my 2020 releases list down below and also those two, so you can definitely check out what I talk about, and let's just get on to it. I'm not gonna spend too much time on each book because I don't really know what they're all about, so we're just gonna get to it. The first one comes out from Berkley, and I've seen ARCs floating around and I'm just like, can you send one my way please? And that is A Heart of Blood and Ashes by Milla Vane. It's a Gathering of Dragons series, so I believe it's fantasy. This one is about, I think they're Vikings, and he is trying to capture the daughter of a king, and I believe either the daughter or the king was responsible for killing his parents, and so he captures her and then he falls in love with her. So yes please, like I love those kind of romances, and this cover, just like everything about it screams something I would love, so I definitely cannot wait for this book. The next one is from Forever, and it is The Trouble with Hating You by Sajni Patel. Our main character is an engineer, she's single, she's happy, she's totally fine with her life, and then she goes to dinner at her parents' house and they have a man they want her to marry there, and she's just like, no thank you. And he ends up showing up at her work a week later as the newly hired lawyer for her company, so they work together, and everything about this sounds so adorable. The cover, so adorable. I'm just gonna say this the whole time I'm talking this video. The covers are all amazing and make me want to read them. But the synopsis of this one also sounds amazing, so Forever Romance is coming out with a good one next year. The next one I have an e-arc of, and that is Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. This is from Avon, and I really enjoyed Fix Her Up, and this one's actually a married couple, and they have to fix their marriage, which is giving me Bromance Book Club vibes, and I think Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren, I believe, is also a married couple who are trying to deal with their problems. I have not read that yet though, but I'm so excited. I really love when a couple's already together and then they kind of break apart and drift apart and like aren't really together anymore. They're basically strangers, so they have to learn to really love each other again and work through their problems. So I'm very excited for this. I know a couple people have read it and have mixed feelings, but I'm gonna read it soon and I'm so excited for it and I cannot wait to get to it. Speaking of the Romance Book Club, I have the sequel in my hands, an ARC from Berkley, and it is Undercover Romance, and this one is actually the sister of the girl in book one, and so while Romance Book Club was about a married couple, this one's not, and it is with the kind of playboy, quirky guy that was in the book club, and so book one focused more on historical romances, and we got excerpts from a historical romance they were reading that he was applying to his marriage. This one's got romantic suspense. I love that genre, so I am so excited for this book. I'm so happy that Berkley sent me an ARC of this already, and I'm dying to dive into it. I'm trying not to start too soon though, because I still want to like have my review when people can not wait too long to get to it, so we'll see when I read this, but I'm very excited for this to release. The next one is by one of my new favorite authors, and it's book 6 in her series, but they can all be read as standalones, and that is A Dark and Stormy Night by Kerrigan Byrne. I'm obsessed with this cover and just like the purples and reds and the embracing couple. And this is historical. Like I said, I think it's book 6 in the series. It might be book 7. I don't remember. And this one is the like the inspector's story. He's like a cop with Scotland Yard. He's the guy from book 1 that liked the girl from book 1, and obviously like she did not choose him. So I'm so excited for his story. He has a really dark past, like pretty much every guy in the series does, which I love myself a brooding hero. So that's why I love these books. And he, I guess, was a murderer, a thief. It said he was a twin when he was young, and then obviously things changed and now he's on the right side of the law. But I love Kerrigan Byrne, I love this series, and I'm so excited for this book to come out. I think we can all agree that we are super excited for Wild at Heart by K.A. Tucker. This book comes out in 2020 from Atria. This is book 2. After the Simple Wild, which was an Alaskan romance, our main character had to go to Alaska to visit her dying father, who basically left her family because her and her mother had to leave Alaska because her mom just could not deal with the secluded life, and he was just like, okay, because his life was there as a pilot, and she ends up falling for Jonah, who is also a pilot. It's enemies to lovers that has the atmosphere of Alaska. And we have a sequel, so I don't really want to look at the synopsis. I don't know what the sequel is going to entail because I'm scared it's going to be like more drama for their relationship, because that's what sequels do if it's about the same couple. But it's Alaska, it's a romance with a pilot, and I'm so excited for this sequel. The next book is from a beloved author duo, and that is The Honey Doubtless by Christina Lauren. This one, our main character works for these like home improvement people, this couple, and she has loved her job, and then she has to go on a book tour with them, but the problem is that the couple cannot stand each other, and so her and this guy who's a structural engineer that was hired on to help both have to go on this book tour, and they have to keep the couple together and their secrets hidden, and it sounds really good. I've never read a romance like that before, so I'm very excited. I love The Honeymooners. I wasn't a huge fan of their last book, but I feel like this one is going to be another hit because it sounds so stinking adorable and like something I'm going to love. Another forever romance release is the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. This is book 2 to the Friend Zone. I really enjoy the Friend Zone. I can see why people didn't like it because of the ending. The ending was okay to me. I mean, I get like the author's author note kind of explained her choice for the ending, but this is book 2, and it is about the couple's best friend in the first book, and that's all I can say, or else I will severely spoil book 1 for you. So don't read this synopsis if you have not yet read book 1, because this character is in book 1 and something happens to them, and I don't want to tell you what because it is a huge point of book 1. So I'm very, very, very excited for this though, because I really enjoy book 1. I really like Abby Jimenez's writing, so I think I'm gonna love this one. Okay, so the next one I am beyond excited for because I just read the synopsis and I never read the synopsis before, and that is Girl Gone Viral by Alicia Rai from Avon, and this is book 2 in the series. The Right Swipe was the first one. I really enjoyed that one. This is the main character from book 1. I believe it's her best friend. She's a model, but she's super shy and does not want to be in the limelight, and someone records her meet cute with this guy at a cafe, and it was totally innocent. They just like met and chatted and like that was it. But now everyone thinks that they're gonna have this grand romance, and they're all like viral sensation about it, and she's freaking out. She's like, no, I don't want this to happen to me. I don't want the attention. And then she's falling for a bodyguard. I love a good bodyguard romance. Like, have you seen The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner? Amazing movie. And so I'm very excited for this, and I really enjoy how these include social media in kind of this day and age, so I can't wait to read this. I have another Alaskan book for you, and that is From Alaska with Love by Allie James. This is from Berkeley. I did get an arc of it, and this one is a guy who's in the military, and he gets these letters from this woman, and he falls for her in these letters, and they write back and forth, and he wants to meet her, and she says no, and then she shows up to a secluded cabin in Alaska. So they spend, I think, a month together. I don't remember what it is, but we have Alaska, we have a epistolary romance, and we have a man in the military, so, and we have a dog on the cover. Like, this has everything that I want in a book, and I cannot wait to read this. The next one I'm so excited for because I love the first one, and that is Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is book 2 to the series from Avon. This is about Chloe's sister, and I guess there's like a fire drill, and this security guard ends up saving her, and it goes viral, kind of like that other one I was just talking about, and they're like, well, I guess we might as well, you know, pretend to date. And so they pretend to date. He's an ex-rugby player. I bet we have a lot of diversity in this one as well because we got that in the first book, so I'm very, very excited to read this. The next one like blew up when the cover was revealed. It's another Avon book, and it is You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria. This one is about telenovela stars. I love Jane the Virgin, and this said also fans of the Kiss Quotient would love it. It's a rom-com about telenovela actors, and so our main character is like, I don't need a man, I'm just gonna be happy, and she goes to a new film telenovela. I don't know which one it is that she's recording, and she sees this hunky co-star whose career has taken a toll, and he's trying to redeem himself, and they need to have good chemistry, so they start practicing in private, and like this literally sounds like it's gonna be amazing, and I don't know if my expectations are too high, but I'm so excited for this book, and I need it in my hands now, but I can't wait to read this in 2020. The next one's another from Forever Romance, and that is The Boyfriend Project by Farah Rochin. I don't know. But this one sounds hilarious. I love how books are starting to incorporate social media a lot. So this girl is live tweeting a disaster date she's on and then realizes she's being catfished by this guy, and there are actually 2 other women who were dating him. And so they become best friends. They decide to invest in themselves for 6 months and just focus on being happy and single, and then she kind of notices a coworker and there's going to be an office romance. So I am very excited for this. Again, it sounds very cute and I cannot wait to read it. So the next one sounds brilliant. Like, I've never heard a book like this. Atria is publishing it, and it is To Have and to Hoax by Martha Waters. It's a historical rom-com. So our main characters are married and madly in love when they get married 5 years ago, and then 4 years ago they had the fight to end all fights, have barely spoken to each other since, and then now the woman finds out that her husband was thrown from his horse and is unconscious and like dying, so she rushes to be by his side. And he's fine in like a tavern hanging out, and he has no idea what her problem is because he doesn't know what happened, and so she gets angry and she's like fine. So she pretends to be sick so that he comes to her aid, and then it's like this funny thing that happens, and it's historical, so it's like reminded me of Jane Austen times, and this cover's so fun, and I just need this in my life. The next one's from Berkeley, and I'm dying again over this book, and it is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Our main characters are writers, and they're both in writing block stages of writing, and so the female lead is a romance writer, and the guy is a literary fiction writer, so she writes happily ever afters. He kills off all of his characters, and they end up staying in beach houses next to each other, and they get talking, and they realize they're both stuck in a rut, and they make a deal that for the next 3 months they're gonna write each other's genres. So the guy writes romance and she decides to write literary fiction. A romance between 2 writers who start writing other genres sounds just so good, and it sounds like a book that like every reader is gonna love because I love reading books about readers and writers, so I definitely cannot wait for this book. And the last one I have for you guys is going to be Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner. This is from Berkeley, and I believe it is Berkeley's first female-female romance. And so our main character is a movie star, and she is caught making her assistant laugh hysterically on the red carpet, and it looks like they're getting along too well, and the tabloids say maybe something more is going on between them, and they're like, oh my god, no, and it's gonna ruin their careers, it says, because the woman is like an up-and-coming actress. And then they start spending more time together with the release of the new movie and realize that they kind of might actually do like each other as more than friends. So I'm very excited Berkeley is branching out and doing more diverse romances, and this one just sounds adorable, and I love a celebrity romance, so I'm very excited to read this. So I do have quite a bit more in my list, and I know that Chelsea and Lacey do too on Goodreads, so I'm linking those down below. Check those out. All of these books are on all of those lists, so if you want to see what they are and when they come out, check that out. I'm so excited for these. Let me know down below what books you're most excited for, and if I missed any that you're excited for. I'm pretty sure The Heart Principle by Helen Hoang was pushed back a year. Like, Lacey had texted me showing me that according to Goodreads, the new release date for that book says May 4th, 2021, and I don't know if that's real or not. They didn't make a statement that they pushed it back. It was supposed to come out in 2020. It is Kwan's book for the series, and one of the most anticipated from the romance community, because we love his character in books 1 and 2 in that series, but we'll see if it comes out. But that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.